So we're staying in our navigating drawings 3D.dwg file. And that particular file is, as I've stated, 3D with a little bit of extruded walls as per the beginning of the chapter. But primarily we're looking at it from the top view on the view cube in plan. Now, the benefit that you have when you're working in AutoCAD is you have a fantastic human interface device. It's called a mouse. And that mouse can be set up to your advantage with particular mouse settings so that you can work in AutoCAD quickly and efficiently. Now, you've got your default settings that automatically kick in when you install AutoCAD. So if you roll up and down on the wheel, you can zoom in, roll back on the wheel, you zoom out. If you hold down the wheel and move the mouse, you can pan around in your AutoCAD drawing. Now, that's very quick and easy because I can zoom in nice and tight into a view like that and then pan a little bit and get to the place where I want to be in my AutoCAD drawing. What about 3D though? If I hold down the Shift key and I hold down the wheel on the mouse, I can manually orbit. And as you can see, as I orbit now, you can start seeing the 3D elements of the drawing. Now at the moment we are in 2D wireframe as a visual style. If I change that here on the drop down in the drawing area and went to something like conceptual, those walls become solid. And you will sometimes get this 3D display performance notification come up. All that's telling you is that 3D performance, the enhanced 3D performance in AutoCAD, is not available for that current visual style. And you can go in and you can change visual styles if you want to. I'm just going to close that for the moment. You can investigate that later at your leisure if you wish. Now the benefit I've got is if I hold down that Shift key and hold down the wheel, I can orbit as much as I like manually, like so. And that's basically another mouse function that is very useful. Now if I want to go back to the top view again, I can use the view cube here, or if I want to, I can use the drop down here and go back to the top view like so. Now it does look a little bit weird. That's because our visual style is set to conceptual. If I change that back to 2D wireframe, you'll see it changes again. And sometimes you'll find that text displays a little bit differently depending on which visual style you're using. So what about the mouse though? The mouse so far, we've just used default settings. How do we do, for example, right-click customization on our mouse? Well, if I right-click and go to the shortcut menu without any command open or any object selected, like so, and go to the User Preferences tab in the dialog box, you can see here that we've got some Windows standard behavior top left. Double-click editing, shortcut menus in the drawing area. So when I right-click, it brings up a shortcut menu. I can also go to right-click customization. And this allows me to customize what the right-hand mouse button does when I'm working in AutoCAD. So default mode, if I right-click, it'll bring up the shortcut menu. When I'm editing, if I right-click, it'll bring up the shortcut menu. But I can set it, if I want to repeat the last command, as if I hit the space bar or the enter key, for example. When I'm in command mode, you can see there, if a command is in progress, right-click means either enter, shortcut menu always enabled, or shortcut menu enabled when command options are present. So there's all these different mouse settings that I can set up. Also, you've got a time-sensitive right-click. I don't use this, but you might want to, where you've got just a quick click for enter, where it's as if you've hit the enter key on the keyboard and you're completing a command, or you can set it for a longer click duration, so it brings up the shortcut menu as well. And you'll notice that's so accurate, it goes to milliseconds. So that 250 milliseconds is quarter of a second, basically. So 500 milliseconds would be half a second. So you can set a longer right-click duration to bring up the shortcut menu, and just a quick click is the equivalent of hitting the enter key on the keyboard. It's up to you how you set those, and then you hit apply and close and make those changes in your AutoCAD options. I like the default settings, so I'm going to click on cancel because I haven't made any changes at all, and I'm going to cancel again on the options dialog box. But those are your mouse and mouse settings that you can utilize to your advantage when you're working in both 2D and 3D in AutoCAD.